Welcome back to the shop. This rather loud device is our air filter to collect dust in the area, and I'm hoping you can hang out and watch us build this thing. It's been a lot of fun. It is scraps upon scraps upon scraps, and I hope you enjoy. So one of the downsides to a small shop like mine is dust. Lots and lots and lots of dust in a very small space. Now from time to time you'll see I have my windows open to the side of me and I get this little old box fan kind of creates some air movement, and I say some because it really doesn't work very well. I thought about making a shop filter out of this thing, but it doesn't move air very well on its own. I can't imagine what's going to happen with the filter in the way. Thanks to my amazing wife, I just picked up another one of these. Now, we use one of these in the living room and the bedroom, and I'm going to tell you, these things can move some air. So, what I'm going to do now is open her up, see what I can do with it, and hopefully share my build with you. Okay, after opening it up, I forgot one minor detail. Power switch right in the center on the back, where my filters are going to be. So, we're going to make an interesting design so I can just access this, turn it on, close it back up, and the filters will be good to go. The case is going to have to be pretty big to begin with, and this bottom base isn't going to do us a lot of good. So these just kind of screw off here, and when I make the new carcass, I'll be able to screw those in to the sides and bring this in just another inch or whatever it was to make up for that. I was initially going to consider taking apart this entire framework here, but the way that this engine's designed with the power supply right there, everything needs to be supported, so I'm going to leave it all together. Now, I'm going to grab this piece of plywood over here that I've got and see if I'll be darned, I don't have to do a thing to dimension this at all. This is right near perfect. Let's go ahead and trace out the front here. Wow, that was a bit of pure luck. I just grabbed this piece out of the other side of the attic, not realizing that it would be the right size. Alright, now drill a hole and use the jigsaw. Go over the workbench here and ready to go. Jigsaw set up. I just grabbed the 7/8 Forster bit. It's the closest thing I had to hand. Trying not to hit my table. Of course, I'm going to go relatively close to the line here and just go ahead and drill a hole. Because of the shop made project, I'm not too worried about blowout here. As you can see, we got some. Alright, now, jigsaw. And there, we have the hole we need for our fan. Circles cut. Trimmed up a little bit more so the fan fits in there okay. Not really good with circles, and I don't have a saw I'm comfortable with. I use the jigsaw, and I just don't seem to have a steady hand yet. Maybe it's just my inexperience, but this is why I'm here to learn, right? So now I need to know the depth of my sides that are going to hold the actual fan body in place. I'm going to take my square here and then this one, and I'm going to just try to figure out right where everything sits and then add on a 1/2 inch. So we're going to go 7.5 inches. That would give me my sides to keep this all encased and enclosed. Now, this specific fan model draws air all around here as well as in here. It seems sealed up tight here, so from the front, when you use duct tape, you just kind of close off the front end so it doesn't cycle air from the front out and without hitting the filters. I think this is going to be an independent box with a hinged piece for my 2 to 3 filters on the back. I can open it up, turn on my fan, close it, and then let it go wherever I want it to be. So that's the plan. Now I need to find something I can cut a couple of 7.5 inch strips out of my scrap pile, and I'll be back. Now that I found enough scrap pieces to cut down the length of the miter saw there, I'm going to set my fence and go ahead and rip them down to final width. Now the cross-cut sled all set up and my stop block in place at 7.5 inches. I'm ready to cut a few of these 2x columns I had laying around in order to reinforce the corners. With this being 1/2 inch ply, it's a big fan that really does push a lot. I really want to make sure everything's secure. So I found this big piece of whiteboard, and we're going to use that to seal the back and cut a hole in it, and then we can start putting on the pieces for the filters. The filter pieces are going to get bungeed on, but it's going to be a separate unit altogether. That way this can stay sealed. I'm going to give it kind of a rough cut right now, just to get this to a more manageable size. This is a really bulky piece of whiteboard to mess with. Not that one. And then just trimming this flush. Now we have our back cut. I can take the filter and figure out where I want it to be. Now I don't want to cut on those lines, because then there will be nothing for the filter to sit against. So I want to go about an inch or 2 inside the lines. My square, I can actually just use the body of the square as a guide. From each corner, cutting on the inside here. Shop project, it doesn't need to be pretty, doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to work. So now, we take a little bit more care and cut out our hole so the airflow can work. The hole's open and our filter fits over that really, really well. Now, I was originally going to do that hinge design and decided against it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to have this L-shaped bracket that this will just sit in on the bottom, top, and one side. I can slide it out, turn on the fan, slide it back into place, and be good to go. If I decide I want to add more filters on later, I can just build this situation up by adding spacer blocks in. So what I'm going to do now is I drill the hole for my power cable. I'm going to pull this whiteboard off, saw that so I can get the cable in there, and then I'm going to work on roughing up this whiteboard because it's really slick. I can then glue and screw these brackets into place, and we should be pretty close to done at that point. So I found this little piece of scrap oak or something floating around on the shelf there, and it's just the right size to turn. I get in, I can turn on my fan, put the filter back in place, and hold it in. I think we're really close to being done with this project here. My shop helper is about to come in and help me seal this up with duct tape. Looks like we have some guitars and stars and some straight black. So we're going to seal this up and turn it on, see what happens.
Go.
Okay, so we have it sealed up. I decided before we even bothered with the test run to go ahead and use duct tape on every seam I could find that seemed to have a little bit of space in it. My two favorite tools in the universe, duct tape and great stuff, and my wife would let me play with the great stuff, so duct tape it was. I'm going to reach back here and turn it on for the first time, and but it really is moving a lot of air. I don't know, small sheet of paper. That's really whipping. So we're going to probably set this up on the other side of the table saw, blowing into the shop just to drag air in and collect as much dust as possible on this filter. Again, if we decide we want to add more filtration to it, I can just put in little blocks and set another panel in behind this one. It's really easy to just flip it open, reach in, turn it on and off. Nothing to it. So there it is. All done.